So if you have your strap, we'll start with it. Come into a kneeling position and take the strap under your shins. If you don't have one, no problem. We'll just do this without it, okay? Then sit down onto your heels and tighten up the strap around your thighs if you have it. One thing to be aware of is where the buckle is. So you don't want the buckle right at your pubic bone or right at your hip bone in the front here. Sometimes sliding the buckle off to the side can be really nice. So ankles are contained, thigh bones are contained. Now, if you don't have the strap, no problem, we'll all do child's pose. Walk your arms out as far as you can. And my friends with the strap, just notice, if the strap is too tight, you're gonna be stuck in this rounded spine. If it's too loose, you won't feel any tension, okay? So you want middle of the road, where there's a little bit of tension pulling your thigh bones back as you extend your upper body forward. And then rest your head on the floor when there's no more length to be had. And start to register your breath in, sides of your ribs, backs of your ribs, your abdomen. And soften your mouth and release your brow heavy into the floor. Now keep cultivating the breath where you are. And the practice that I have in mind for today is one that really moves through the whole spectrum of experience. So I don't know about you, but I am certainly feeling the full spectrum of feelings through this whole quarantine, pandemic response. And so we'll do some slow and grounding movements. We'll do some fast, invigorating movements. We'll do some things that you like and you feel comfortable with. And we'll do some things that you don't like as much and you have to practice steadying yourself in. Walk your hands over to the left in your child's pose and stack the right palm on top of the left. Now start to pull with the right hand and turn your chest a little bit to the left. Feel right sit bone reach backwards to lengthen right side of the body, right armpit, ribs, maybe even all the way to your waistline. Couple more breaths into the right side. Walk your hands back through the center, over to the right. So you're reaching out at this diagonal. Pull with your left hand on top of the right hand, and either let your head fall between your arms or let your head rest on your left bicep. Reach your left sit bone back millimeters and notice if that changes the side stretch for you. 2 more deep breaths into left ribs. Walk your hands back to the center, extend as long as you can. Bring your palms together to touch and bend your elbows so your thumbs come towards the base of your neck. Rest your forehead again. And once elbows bend, you might notice that you could scoot elbow tips a little further forward to stretch your triceps. But please make sure that doesn't create pinching at your shoulder joints. And then a couple breaths into the back of your rib cage. Again, soften mouth and neck. 2 more deep breaths. Slowly release your hands, walk them back towards your knees. And if you have the strap, release it, move it off to the side. And if you have a chair or if you have a couch that you could face, move yourself close to it or move the chair close to you. Tabletop position first. Tuck left knee behind the right knee. Separate your feet. Breathe in, stretch your chest forward here in cow. Exhale, push through hands, push through feet in cat. Breathe in, extend your heart forward. Exhale, root down into the floor. You might feel some outer hip sensation. Inhale fully, reach forward. Exhale, curl. Now up to you. You can keep it very slow. You can whip it up a little bit. And for me, I always want to do the slow and steady game. I always want to feel the roots and oftentimes don't want to move fast. And so when it comes time to move fast, and I don't particularly like that situation, then I get thrown off kilter so much more than if I practiced both ends of the spectrum. So you move in the way that you need to, but just keep your awareness about you as to what you always do, and if or when it's time to try something a little bit different. Slow it down, and then bring yourself close to your couch or pull the chair close to you. Hands on the chair, push through your knees, push through your feet, come upright in this cow space. Press your feet down into the floor and feel your hips come forward and up. Notice if it's your legs that's doing that work or if it's the muscles of your low back. Pull belly button in and push down into your support. Stay with hands here, steady your breathing, or raise your arms up overhead. Hold opposite elbows. And again, use those roots to reach up, to grow taller, up through chest and through elbows and maybe through your gaze. Slow motion, release your hands down. Move the chair slightly out of your way. Come back to your tabletop position. Right leg behind the left. So we've got cow's face legs in tabletop. Press your feet down. Now swim the left arm back and turn left fingers back. Swim the right arm back and turn the right fingers back. Breathe in, pull your chest forward in cow, and imagine dragging your hands to the side edges of your mat. Feel how that spreads your collarbones. And when you exhale, push the ground away, cat. Inhale, pull your chest forward, hands drag apart. Exhale, root down, lift your belly. Now feel it out here with wrists flipped. It might not feel safe to go fast, but if you do a few rounds and it does feel safe, test the waters with moving a little faster. Keep the roots in both of your feet. Keep the sensation of rooting your hands. And then your movement occurs, matches your breath. Start to slow it down if you're going faster. And then last time. Take the left arm back, swim it up and forward, hand neutral, fingers point straight ahead. Right arm back, up and forward, point the fingers straight ahead. Now get yourself close to whatever support you have. You might have to narrow your feet a little bit so you can feel feet stomp into the floor. Now create that anchor in your feet and in your knees to bring your hips forward and up. Stay here, take advantage of the support, breathe steady, or raise your arms up overhead. If you hold opposite elbows, try to switch the forearm that's on top. And then just notice if you start to get heavy into the low back. Push into the ground, reach up through chest, through elbows, maybe with your eyes. One more deep breath, grow a centimeter. Release, hands down. Move your chair, untangle your legs. Now, elbows down on the floor. Hold opposite biceps. So you measure shoulder width distance apart and then clasp your hands in front. So you make a triangle. Push through your hands and spread your shoulder blades across your back. Lift your hips, lift your knees, dolphin pose. Bend your knees quite a bit in your dolphin so that you can feel sit bones tilt up in the air. So instead of straight legs and a rounded back with our butts tucked under, bend your knees, lift your sit bones, decompress your spine. Now check on the breath. I don't know about you, but for me, oftentimes dolphin is a place that my breath gets a lot more restricted. So do your best to cultivate an intentional, conscious, continuous breath. Now walk your feet backwards, forearm plank. Again, press hands into the floor, elbows into the floor. Lift the backs of your knees without lifting your butt higher in the air. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee and imagine your elbows dragging backwards. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, bend the right knee 2 inches. Pull elbows towards knee. Inhale, root down, straight legs. Exhale, bend the left. Drag elbows towards the knee. Breathe in, straight legs. Push through your hands. Exhale, bend the right. Pull elbows towards the right knee, heart forward. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, bend the left. Drag elbows back, pull your heart forward. Inhale, straight legs, push into the ground. Exhale, bend the right. Drag elbows back, extend your collarbones forward. Inhale, straight legs, and then walk your feet back in, dolphin pose. Bend your knees, lift your hips. And again, full spectrum of experience, right? This might be a place that you're really comfortable. Working really, really hard might be a place of comfort for you, and softening might be more challenging. Or maybe this is really challenging, but you do your best to steady your breath and to give all aspects of the experience equal attention. Place your knees down. Swing your arms backwards, embryo. Rest your forehead on the mat. Release your shoulders, release your neck. Feel your belly expand with breath. Feel the back of your body expand with breath. And exhale, release your mouth, release your head a little heavier. Now we'll go through a few moon salutations. Breathe in, sweep your arms up. Exhale, reach forward as long as you can with your arms. Inhale, rock forward, up dog on the tops of your feet. Exhale, lift your belly, go back, downward facing dog. Softly bend your knees. Inhale fully. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, forward fold. Hip width distance apart. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, palms to your heart. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, fold in half, soften your knees. Left leg back, knee down, foot down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, downward facing, bend your knees. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lower your pelvis, up dog. Stay here. Inhale, push into the ground, lift your collarbones. Exhale, go back, downward facing. Bend your knees, sweep your arms back, embryo pose. Fill up with breath. Exhale, head heavy. Inhale, raise your arms up, raise your chest. Exhale, reach as far forward as you can. Inhale, up dog, strengthen your legs on tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, knees bent. Inhale fully. Exhale, step the right foot forward, knee down, foot down. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, forward bend, front of the mat. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, reach up, strong legs. Exhale, fold in half, head heavy. Right leg back, knee down, foot down. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale all the way to up dog, toes tucked, lift your heart. Exhale, place your knees down, sweep your arms back, embryo pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, stretch forward. So we're working cadence of breath. Inhale, up dog on the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, tilt the sit bones up. Exhale, left foot forward, back knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, front of the mat. Continuity. Inhale, stand and rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, stretch tall. Empty completely, fold. Left leg back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, downward facing, bent knees. Inhale all the way to up dog, toes tucked. Exhale, knees to the ground, sweep back, embryo pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, stretch forward, consistency with breath. Inhale, up dog on the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, sit bones high. Exhale, right foot forward, back knee down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold, hip width apart. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, palms to heart. Full breath in, reach up. Exhale, completely fold. Right leg back, knee down. Inhale to rise. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale all the way to up dog, toes are tucked. Exhale, knees down. Sweep your arms back, embryo pose. Take a couple of breaths. Again, feel front of your body expand into your thighs. Feel back of your body expand up towards the ceiling. Couple more breaths. Bring yourself to upright, sitting on your heels if that's reasonable. If that's not so reasonable, sit on your block, sit on your meditation cushion, sit on couch pillows, okay? But I want you to have a stable base. Reach your arms up. Interlace your fingers, point index fingers up to the ceiling. Feel all of the toes root down into the floor, and then notice the sensation of gravity sort of pulling you down, or some of you front ribs might flare forward. So root into the floor and actively grow yourself taller. Biceps hug your ears. Inhale, turn left, exhale, right. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And you keep building the pace so that the movement becomes much faster. Keep it going. Feel the roots in both feet, in both hips. We're not going for the biggest rotation that ever was, but consistent movement with breath. A little bit of building of heat. Keep it going. Notice when you start to get heavier, when you start to get subject to gravity, and reach up, grow tall. For 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center, reach up, breathe in. Exhale, sweep your arms wide. Bring your hands down to your thighs. Pause here. Feel the breath. Also feel that maybe there's energy or there's heat moving across neck, shoulders, around shoulder blades. Sometimes a little buzzing in your head, a little invigoration. When you're ready, blink your eyes open. Go back, downward facing dog. Feel sit bones rise, feel the roots in your hands, not only pinky side of the hands, but feel base of your index finger, feel base of your thumb as well. Inhale to sweep your left leg up in the air. Exhale, step forward to a lunge. Tap the back knee down, back foot down, and feel the pinky toe on the back foot root there. Now walk your arms forward towards maybe 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, and pull your chest forward. Imagine both sit bones pointing straight to the wall behind you or the back of your mat, and extend your chest towards the front of your mat. Feel the anchor in the back foot. Do you still notice pinky toe, or is it all on the big toe side? Take one more full breath. Now reach your arms forward and up, forward and up, forward and up. Clasp your hands behind your skull. Elbows in. Breathe in, push the ground away, reach elbows up. And exhale, push your head back into your hands just a little. Breathe in, get taller. Exhale, press head back into hands. Take one more breath this way. Now inhale, raise your arms straight up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift the back knee and walk yourself to the right, straddle forward bend. Just gonna spin myself around. Now breathe into a flat back, reach your heart forward. Feel some weight on your toe mounds here, and then fold, hang your head heavy. Wrap your left arm under your right arm, eagle, and then bend your knees. Reach your sit bones backwards and punch your fists up towards the ceiling. Stomp into the heels, stomp into the big toe mounds, and try to create a flat back. So you're not upright, but you're halfway. You got it. Bend your knees, stomp into your feet. So it's not gravity having its way, but you get to create the response. Take one more breath. Release yourself down. Fill up flat back. And exhale, bring yourself back to your lunge on your left foot. Go back, downward facing, left leg high. Bend your knee, open your hip. Reach the left knee high in the air and stay as you are, pressing into both hands, or place your right elbow down on the floor. If you place the right elbow down, you might walk left fingertips out at an angle. But wherever you are, check on the breath. Right, beyond like or dislike, whether you're comfortable or happy in this shape or uncomfortable, cultivate the breath. Plant your left palm on the floor. Push both arms straight. Left leg straight, and then 2 feet down on the mat. Inhale, rock forward to plank, and exhale, lower all the way down. Reach your hands back, interlace your hands. Press pinky toe sides of your feet again. Oftentimes we end up clenching the butt and ending up only on the big toe side. So press both, big toe, pinky toe, keep thighs neutral. Inhale, lift head, chest, and arms. Breathe in, grow 1/2 inch taller. Exhale, you'll sink a little bit. Feel your feet. Breathe in, rise a touch. Exhale, soften a little. Take 1 more breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release everything to the floor. Plant your hands, fill up with breath. Exhale, push the ground away. Downward facing dog, bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the right leg up in the air. Exhale, step forward. Back knee down, back foot down. Now anchor the pinky toe side of the back foot. Feel for that root, and then walk your arms forward towards, say, 11 and 1. Yeah. Feel the back foot, extend both sit bones straight back behind you as you pull your chest forward. Take a couple more breaths to soften into that right hip crease, to feel maybe some length across left hip flexors. And now breathe in, reach your arms forward, forward and up. Clasp your hands behind your head. Push into the ground, inhale, lift elbows. Exhale, press head back into hands just a little. Now inhale, get longer, root down. Exhale, press head back, lift your belly button. Take 1 more breath. Exhale. Inhale, arms straight up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift your back knee. Walk your hands to the left in your straddle forward bend. Breathe into a flat back. Feel some weight on your toe mounds. And exhale, hang your head down. Now a little different. Inhale, flat back and plant your left hand. Exhale, twist right arm up. Full breath in. Now, instead of thinking of thread the needle, where right arm would go under the left, different. Reach the right arm over your ear. Now lean your body to the left. Lean to the left. Lean to the left. Grab your left ankle. You might need to narrow your straddle a bit. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, reach overhead. Reach over your ear. Lean to the right, lean to the right, lean to the right. Maybe hold the right ankle. Remember, you can narrow your straddle as much as you need. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, reach over your ear. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching to grab left ankle. Inhale, left arm up. Root into both feet. Exhale, reach over your ear. Lean your whole body to the right. Good. Inhale, right arm up. Now look at the right hand. Now reach it overhead. Keep looking at the right hand. Follow it all the way over to the left ankle. Inhale, left arm up. Look towards the ceiling. Now reach overhead. Keep looking at that left hand as you lean, lean, lean to the right. Good. Now keep arms crossed. Inhale, bend your knees quite a lot. Exhale, push into your feet, lift your sit bones. Again, breathe in, bend your knees. Exhale, push the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Last time, inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale, walk fingers forward in the flat back. Exhale, turn towards the front of your mat, lunge. Go back, down dog. Bend your right knee, open your hip. Now stay here, root into both hands, lift your sit bones. Or left elbow down, walk the right fingertips out at a diagonal. Steady your breath. Plant the right palm. Push both arms straight. Extend the right leg straight. 2 feet on the ground. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Clasp your hands behind your back and switch the order of your fingers. So opposite index is on top, opposite thumb. Feel pinky toes press as much as big toes. Inhale, lift yourself up, locust. Breathe in, get a little taller. Exhale, sink a little bit. Inhale, rise a little, feel the roots in your feet. Exhale, sink a touch. One more breath. And release everything down. Take an extra breath here. Exhale, head heavy, relax your arms. Plant your hands level with your chest, breathe in. Exhale, press up hands and knees. Now, block can be really helpful. 2 different options with this. Well, there's more if you'd like them, but dolphin prelude, sort of a setup for dolphin, but it focuses more on the shoulder opening versus it being as intense as being fully upside down. So if you're doing this prelude version, I like knees a little wider than hips. Elbows go forward, you lift the block up and squeeze the block. Then reach sit bones high and back. Keep the block pointed up to the ceiling and keep hugging palms in. So you're working on getting longer from the tips of your elbows back through your sit bones. Some of you know the dolphin variation with blocks against the wall, and you're welcome to take that if you have 2 blocks, or dolphin on the floor. I'll show you the dolphin on the blocks. Elbows touching the wall, pinkies press into the wall. You can either reach sit bones backwards, go for length, or lift your knees, dolphin pose on steroids, okay? And it doesn't matter the option that you choose, but do the one that keeps you safe, okay? That you can engage in and that you can breathe in. And then it's just interesting to notice if we always choose the same, right? If we always choose the one that we're good at versus putting ourselves in circumstances that we're less familiar with. And there are some days that are appropriate for that and some days that aren't. But I think that's so much of what we're doing in this practice is preparing ourselves for the big game, for all of the chaos that life throws our way that we don't have control over. Learning how to steady ourselves through the full spectrum of experience. If you're in dolphin or you're in that prelude, release yourself up, hands and knees. And then come back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in to sweep left leg up in the air. Exhale, step forward to a lunge. Now back leg super straight. Root down through both of your feet. Pull your chest forward like you did before. Imagine both sit bones pointing straight backwards. Now inhale, reach forward and up, forward and up. And when you arrive in your crescent lunge, stack left knee on top of left ankle. Back heel is very high. Now push into your feet to lift your ribs up off your pelvis. Exhale, clasp behind your head. Breathe in, lift your elbow tips higher. And exhale, press head back. Now the idea with this, imagine yourself like a sphere, like a hemisphere, and a circle or a semicircle does not have any folds in it. So notice if your low back starts to fold. Inhale, lengthen the front of your body instead, and then press your head back. Breathe in to get longer. Exhale, lift your navel as you reach back. Inhale, arms up in the air. Exhale, hands down, back. Actually, no, both hands inside the left foot. If you have two blocks, you're more than welcome to place them under the right thigh. Or no blocks, just feel that engagement in the back thigh. Stay on your hands or place elbows down. Extend your chest forward, breathe in. Exhale, push into your feet, cat. Inhale, extend your heart forward. Exhale, root into your feet, lift your belly. Once more, heart forward, back leg strong. Exhale, hollow. Breathe in, prop up onto your hands. Exhale, three-legged dog with your left leg up. Bend your knee, open the hip. Now stay here or press very strongly into the right hand. Turn yourself over into Wild Thing. Take your left hand behind your head. Now push the ground away and press your head back into your left hand. Take 2 breaths to lift up out of the right shoulder. Push the ground away. Lift your navel, unwind to downward facing dog. Fill up with breath onto tiptoes. Long exhale, sink your heels back and down. Inhale, rise tiptoes. Exhale, sink your heels. Breathe in, sweep the right leg up. Exhale, step forward, lunge. Now, back leg very strong. Prop on fingertips. Pull your chest forward. Imagine both sit bones reaching straight backwards. Extend collarbones forward, breathe in. Exhale, lift your navel as you reach forward. Forward and up, creating that hemisphere. Clasp your hands behind your head. Now breathe in, reach elbows and heart up. Exhale, press your head back. Now feel where you notice this pose. We want it to feel like a front body stretch. Triceps, armpits, belly, left hip flexors, rather than feeling the fold in your low back. Take one more breath, lift yourself up. Lift your navel as you reach back. Hands to the floor. Bring them to the inside of the right foot. Now, you can have your back thigh resting on your 2 blocks, but you've got to keep it strong. Or keep the leg lifted as is. Pull your chest forward. Fingertips might be perfect, or palms, or elbows down. Breathe in, extend your heart forward. Exhale, push through your arms, lift your belly. Inhale, spread your collarbones as you reach through. Exhale, push the floor away. One more deep breath. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Now breathe in, heart forward, rise up onto your hands. Exhale, go back, 3-legged dog. Raise the right knee higher. Stay right here, steady breath, or turn yourself over so that right knee is bent, left leg works straight. Right hand behind your head. Press your head back into your hand. Now breathe in, push the ground away. Exhale, maybe press your head further back. Take one more breath. Lift your navel, unwind, downward facing dog. Pause here. You can raise and lower your heels. You can take child's pose. If you like a connecting vinyasa, by all means do that. And then place knees down on the floor. If you have your 2 blocks, grab them. I'm gonna spin my mat here to do lunges at the wall. So you might want to fold over your mat as you go to the wall. And I don't know about you, but for me, when I hear lunges at the wall, I immediately go into, right? So I start the suffering for myself before we even get into it. So that's just something to monitor, right? Where we go in our minds. We'll do left leg, back to the baseboard, foot points up the wall, okay? So your shin is vertical. 2 blocks, and you'll bring right knee forward first. So it's a kind of lunge with your knee on the ground, focusing on left hip flexors. Push into the blocks and lift your belly. Make sure this doesn't feel like a folding in your low back, but rather a lifting of your chest. Yeah, you guys are doing great. Now, if this feels extremely intense, this might be the place for you to stay and focus on left hip flexors. If there's a little bit of room, push into your blocks and step the right foot forward into a lunge. Feel your pelvis descend forward and down. Now, sometimes it will feel more intense when you're upright. For some of you, it might feel more intense when you're lower to the ground, but know that you can play with the position of your hands, either lower or higher on blocks, or bracing both hands on the right thigh. So you've got options. Check on the breath. And then just check, right? Is there a story about this being a place that you don't like? Right? And how much tension perhaps that creates in your mind, but also in your body. And could you instead simply feel for the roots in your legs, feel for pelvis descending, and then cultivate a breath to uphold you. If you need a little more release, open mouth exhales are a great idea. Now, last variation here, if you have the 2 blocks. If you don't, I would say stay, either hands on the floor or hands braced on the right thigh. If you have 2 blocks or chair or some sort of support that you could place your elbows on inside the right foot, do that. And then notice how much we tend to push through our arms, lift our hips, and go into the turtle shell. Instead, feel for descending your pelvis. Pull your chest through your arms. That's it. So we try to keep it as a hip pose instead of a back pose. And now just notice if there's tension in your lips or if eyeballs are sort of jumping forward out of your skull. So the roots are really intentional. There's engagement required there, but what things could you soften that are non-essential? Or could we communicate with the body that it is okay to let go a little bit? Slow motion. Prop up onto your hands. Walk the blocks or walk your hands over to the left, just enough to be able to slide the left foot off the wall. Then you come to a tabletop position and take a breath. If you need horse lips or lion's breath, before you go to the other side, take that. But we'll go right away into the second side. Right knee up against the wall. So your foot is going straight up behind you. Your shin is vertical. First variation, bring your left knee forward. So you're in kind of a lunge here, and feel just a little bit of your legs hugging towards one another. And feel that maybe that targets right hip flexors a bit more. Check to make sure that it doesn't create a folding in your low back, but you're lifting torso, lifting your navel. Use the breath to uphold you. Remember, open mouth exhales can help release some extra heat, some intensity. Now, you can absolutely stay right here, or press into your hands, step the left foot forward to a lunge. You can play with the amount of support that you have in your hands, but first, feel your pubic bone come forward and down, your pelvis come forward and down, so that, again, you feel for targeting right hip flexors. And I know it's intense, I'm in it with you, but do use the breath to uphold you. If you're not safe, that's a different story. But if it's uncomfortable, use the breath to support you. If there's room, you can brace, hands on top of left thigh. And then check to see where the tension is, shoulders or face or breath. Slowly, hands down, if they're not already, bring them to the inside of the left foot. If you've got your two blocks, you can place elbows on there or on books. But if you stay in your hands, the work is the same. Extend your heart forward as you feel pelvis descend down. And then feel if over time you start to round your back. Do your best to draw collarbones, heart forward. Take your time, prop up onto your hands. Slowly walk hands to the right to slide the right foot off the wall. Oh boy. Okay. Great news. That's over. We'll try wheel variations. Now, I know some of you in your bodies will be interested in wheel and some of you won't be interested in wheel. So there are options. Block, underneath your pelvis, supported bridge. If you need to support your back and work on releasing it, okay? If wheel is reasonable, hands come alongside your ears, fingers point towards shoulders. Press up to the top of your head, hug elbows in. Now stomp through hands and feet to lift any amount. If you're not as confident in wheel pose, your 2 blocks can be really helpful. Blocks at the wall. If you have a baseboard, they'll hook right onto the baseboard, okay? If you don't have a baseboard, you can set the blocks at about a 45-degree angle. Using the blocks will take pressure off your wrists and off your low back. So, really briefly, when you come down into this, your head will be just about touching the wall. Hands on your 2 blocks with fingertips draped down the front of the blocks. You can lift into bridge, pause there. Press into your hands a bit and feel what that's like. Or top of your head, look at your elbows, hug them in. Then press through hands, through feet for wheel, any amount. Okay, when you come down, lower onto your upper back rather than onto your head. Pause, hands on your belly, knees knocked in. Okay, so here we go. Active bridge pose, supported bridge pose, or your variation of wheel. Okay, feel your foundation. Feet root, hands root, rise to the top of your head if that's where you're going, and stop. Look at your elbows, hug them in. Push through thumb side of the hand as much as pinky side. Press through your feet as much as through your hands. Check on the breath. Imagine this again as a hemisphere, a front body stretch rather than a compression on the backside. When you come down, lower onto upper back. Peel yourself down, knock your knees in, hands on your belly, slow down the breath. Feel what front body stretching does for you. Sometimes invigorating, shaky, exciting, sometimes sticky and frustrating. Right? And that's all valid. It's all part of our human experience. So we practice simply allowing it. And if we're safe, we try again. Second round, bridge pose, hands clasped underneath. Wheel pose, supported bridge with the block or blocks at the wall for wheel. Okay, here we go. If hands are on the floor or on the blocks, press. Lift hips into bridge, rise top of your head, hug elbows in, push the ground away. Now imagine whole front side of the body rising. Push through your feet, lengthen the front side rather than simply compressing the back side. When you come down, lower onto upper back. Knock your knees in, hands on your belly, slow it down. Feel for the effects of front body stretching for you. Now, clasp your hands behind your right thigh. Extend your left leg straight out on the floor. So you may or may not get the right leg straight. That doesn't so much matter. But push your right thigh into your hands. And notice how that makes low back a little bit longer on the right. Now breathe in, bend the right knee. Exhale, kick it up. Keep your thigh pushing forward into your hands. And you can keep this up and down going with your leg. If you get your leg all the way straight and you don't feel much of anything, push with your thigh and then point and flex your foot to vary the stretch along the backside of your leg. But notice if you lose that pressure, thigh into hands, that oftentimes right low back will start to shorten. hug the right knee into your chest. If you have a block, set it on your left side, medium height. Twist to the left and scoot your hips back an inch or two to the right. Hold on to the knee with your left hand. Reach your right arm out wide. Deep breath into the right ribs. Exhale, soften right shoulder down. Again, breathe in. Exhale, soften. Inhale, feel that expansion, right ribs. Exhale, feel right ribs get a little heavier. Last deep breath. Come back to the center. Straighten out your hips. Extend right leg straight. Clasp your hands behind your left thigh. Now push your thigh into your hands and feel that when you do that, maybe left low back feels a little longer, or maybe it at least relaxes the muscles of left low back. Now you can breathe in, kick up, and exhale, lower down. Kick up into some tension, exhale, lower. Keep the pressure forward, left thigh into hands. You can keep going up and down, or if you get all the way straight without much sensation, then point and flex your left foot. But just observe if you've gone too far by noticing if left hip starts to hike or left low back starts to shorten. Bend your left knee. Hold on to it. If you have a block, take it on the right side, twist over, and scoot your hips an inch or two to the left. Try to allow your knee to be supported and hold it with the right hand. Left arm reaches wide. Breathe into the left side of your rib cage. Exhale, soften the left side down. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more deep breaths here. Navel in, come back to the center, straighten yourself out. Feet together, knees apart, Supta Baddha Konasana. Now, if you'd like support, you can place couch cushions under your legs or blocks under your legs. What I want is for this to feel like a place that you can relax, and if it's not that, please take a position that is. Rest one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And simply use your hands to have a tactile sense of the breath, a felt sense experience of the breath. So it becomes less hypothetical, more tangible. So I think so often we're good at judging ourselves for the experience that we're having, right? Or discounting our experience. I'm a pro at that, right? I shouldn't be anxious. I shouldn't be angry. I shouldn't be sad. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. What am I so upset about, right? But I think in this time of tremendous change and uncertainty, it is the perfect time to practice a little bit of tenderness with ourselves. A little bit of softness around each other's opinions and behaviors. And to practice doing our best to remember
that we're all sort of struggling in some way, and that some of us are struggling in incredible ways that we can't understand. But what we can do is give everyone the space, including ourselves, to have the experience that we're having.